Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL Hall of Fame game strategy show. No, I'm kidding. It's baseball. And this is, can we say, fair to say, weirdest slate we've seen all year? I think it's fair to say. A 1 o'clock, a 7 o'clock, and then all the way to 9:40. So, I mean, it's bizarre. It's honestly, I prefer DraftKings do this. It's better than having a two-gamer, just attach the 1 o'clock to it. No, I'm not complaining, but no doubt it's weird. Let me fix this. There we go. Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. So, a 1 o'clock where we've got weather concerns, a 7 o'clock in Cincinnati with Carlos Carrasco on the bump. Let's have some fun. Anyway, let's see some of these comments before we get going. Waffy's in the closet doing 10 sets of turning his hat backwards. Good thing you had a second part of that sentence. You had me concerned for a second. Antoine, good morning. Fistula, CM311, Jameson, Michael, good morning to all of you guys. Cujo, hey. And Trip, that's right. We got football today. I already put a video out on the Odd Shopper channel last night. Very excited to make that. Just put a thread out on Twitter for the Hall of Fame game. It's a good game. Kind of fun. Amarian Hampton and Trey Harris, for those of you football nerds like myself, they're playing today. That should be fun. Trey Lance, who was like an absolute nightmare in the preseason last year, is also playing, but he's under Greg Roman now. Can he fix him? We'll see. I don't know. Neither do you. But tune in to the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio tonight. I'll be watching. There's an edge to preseason, and I tell you what, whether there was or what is or isn't, we're going to watch and have some fun. Yeah. Red Skittles, I need more info on the Hall of Fame. I gave you all of the info you need for that one, brother. Check out my thread. It's pinned to my over on Twitter or on YouTube. You can watch the video. It's like 6 minutes long or something. But, we got football. So look, this is not the start of the season in earnest, but it means it's signaling that we're close. I mean, it's the first taste of action that we're getting. Yeah. Trip, I'm rooting for Trey as well. Why not, dude? Like third overall pick, totally fizzled out. Put him in Dallas. Bad things are bound to happen. Maybe look, Greg Roman, look what some of the quarterbacks under his tutelage have been able to do. I'm not saying he's solely responsible for it, but Lamar Jackson, Colin Kaepernick, even Tyrod Taylor, all similarly athletic, mobile quarterbacks like Trey Lance. So maybe there's something there. We'll see. Anyway, good morning to all of you guys. Hey, if you don't mind, take a single second, atone for your sins this fine morning. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I understand we might not have the same size audience on a strange 3-game slate, but you know what? We're here. One way or another. And we've got 3 games to break down and digest. You best believe no matter what, we're going to be here. Now, if it's a 2-game slate, you probably will not hear from me. I will slither away into the darkness and reemerge upon the next decent sized slate. But this is 3 games because DK decided to add the 1 o'clock, which works for me. Sotex, I see you, brother. Good morning. But yeah, atone for your sins this fine morning. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It's free to do. And of course, if you're watching or listening after the fact, leave a comment down below. It goes a long way, and it helps us combat the YouTube over. You guys already know. I don't have to run that spiel back. We're 4+ months into the season, which means football is less than a month away. Well, 1 month and about 5 days until Philly kicks off the season on Thursday night against the division rival Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. All right. Red Skittles, I made the mistake of habit reserving my lineups without even noticing how wonky the slate is. You're locked in now, brother. The only way to get out of that now is manually do it, or just what I'll do. I've done it before where my power goes out and I'll just email support and be like, look, can you help me out? And they'll just remove them, but yeah. So let's do it. Let's make it happen. Have some fun. Pitching for a 3-gamer, I'm going to say it. It's not that bad. We've seen worse on a 10-gamer. For real. We've seen some god-awful pitching slates recently. So this one's actually not that bad. And Skittles, you should ride it out. The Stokastic avatars have crushed these early slates, or sorry, let's say abbreviated slates this season. The Sims seem to work their best magic when we're working with some of these smaller slates. They crush in showdown NFL and a lot of that because the leverage is so important. The Sims are so important in that respect. But okay, look, we have Andrew Abbott against Atlanta, very solid pitcher. And despite, the comfy hitter-friendly confines of Great American Ballpark, he's been fantastic at home this year. You not only have Andrew Abbott, but you have old George Kirby at home against the Texas Rangers. You guys already know I'm a George Kirby truther. I know it hasn't been the best year for him, but I still believe it's doable. Not to mention, look, he's coming off an excellent start last time out against the Angels in Anaheim. Last home start against Milwaukee wasn't great. We actually were on the other side of that one with, what the hell is his name? You guys will tell me. It's not Mizrowski. Who was the guy that we were saying, remember he came out with a cramp, probably would have gone complete game. We were all over that spot. I'm just blanking. But the home start prior to that against Pittsburgh, dominant George Kirby performance, pure dominance, So, yeah, Woodruff, thank you guys. Gerald, top of the day to you as well, brother. But yeah, look, you have George Kirby, who has definitely looked better of late. The problem is he hasn't been consistent, and I think we'd all agree upon that. But look, 3 of his last 5 starts, and sometimes I don't mind isolating these type of things. 3 of his last 5 starts, you would take all day in this situation. The question becomes not whether or not George Kirby is, deserving of ownership today. Obviously he is. He's in the preeminent pitchers park. We already know that. No park better for pitchers in baseball than T-Mobile. That includes Oracle Park in San Francisco. Problem is you're talking 70+% ownership going to George Kirby today. You can't just take a pitcher, say he's good, and I haven't looked at our exposures yet. Can't just take a pitcher, say he's good, play all of him, without also contextualizing it and figuring out whether or not ownership is going to play a large role, and it always does, especially on these small slates. So he's got a 48% top 2 pitcher probability, 71% projected ownership, and you know what? Doesn't surprise me at all. If Kirby in smaller field, like higher stake stuff, Kirby's going to be even higher than 70%. 3.7 total to the Texas Rangers. No other team is close. The next lowest total is Seattle in the same game against Kumar Rocker, who I actually think is pretty viable today. Not great, but it's a good part. So then what are we working with? Andrew Abbott, Ryan Pepio, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Carrasco. I want to ask you guys a question. This is what I want to know. Right? Sotex, yeah. No, it was definitely Woodruff. I was blanking on the name. I'm in football mode. Still grinding out the MLB stuff, but like football mode, sometimes my mind gets polluted. I want to know from you guys, and don't ride the fence here. Give me a clear answer. I'll give you a clear answer as well. Maybe I'm riding the fence. I don't think so. What are you doing with this 1:00 game? What do you intend on doing with this 1:00 game? That's what I want to know. Right? Are you just playing it? Or are you fading it? I don't think you can fade it for a handful of reasons. One, you have 3 games. 2, you don't really need to get to these pitchers. Marcus Stroman's been disastrous. He had 1 decent start over his last, or really any of them. His K rate is at a career low. Swinging strike rate is 8%. Barrel rate is at a career high by like 4 or 5%. Hard hit rate, career high. Ground ball rate, career low. everything right now for Marcus Stroman looks bad. Okay. On the other side, though, Ryan Pepio at 8,300, also getting 59% ownership. How are you approaching that? See, Walter, perfect answer. Fading pitchers, taking bats. Yeah, makes sense. And here's the other good thing. We still have time, right? Maybe our good friend Kevin Roth gives us an update. But this game is at 1:05, so we've got hour 50 until it starts. As it currently stands, things look rough. My only other question becomes, can they wait it out? So I'm in the suburbs of Philadelphia. I'm in Bucks County, PA, for any of you who know or care where that is. Just giving you some insight here. Not that far from New York. Like barring traffic, right? Get there easy, under an hour and a half. Easy. Barring like drive. But if with traffic, it's a 2-day trip. But just point A to point B, no traffic, you're talking under an hour and a half. So when I look at what we're about to get, I know it's going to be bad. And it's just like constant lines of storms pretty much everywhere. I'm seeing something similar from New York, but does it just clear out later in the day and they play the game? Right? Do they just end up waiting this out and playing the game? Or do they, unlike Philly and Chicago yesterday, do they end up just rescheduling it because they're in the same division and they play? I don't know I haven't looked at the remaining schedule and when they face each other again, but I would imagine there's probably an easier way for them to make that work. Right? Like that game yesterday with the White Sox, and this is what I suggested might happen. And also, we talked about here, it was almost a 4-hour delay, right? Almost a 4-hour delay, but who cares? What does it matter? They got the game and they needed to interleague play. This is not. This is divisional game. So when you have a divisional game like this, it's different. Fistula, I think they start and make it 6. That's also in play. But if they do that, I don't think they're going to delay the game like till 5:30, Also, point this out one more time. You know what? Never mind. For some reason, I thought they played each other again tomorrow, but they don't. Right. Tomorrow's Friday. So no, that would be the beginning of a new series. So they wouldn't make it up tomorrow. I'm just going to play it. Probably just going to play it. What are the other alternatives? Steven, Laffy lives at Sesame Place? No, but I grew up 10 minutes from Sesame Place. I don't live there now. I grew up in Newtown, PA. Sesame Place is in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, a neighboring town. So yeah, I used to go there often. Swim around and other kids piss and shit. You didn't know that at the time, but I'm sure that place is gross. Water parks are just infested with disease and bacteria. You come out of one of those, you have a dick growing off of your head 5 days later. I'm afraid to take my kids to those places. But anyway, I think I'm probably going to roll the dice on some Pepio. The other thing would be nice is if these, I know you can't because of like the fans and everything, but if you have weather like this, just start the game an hour early. I get you can't do that. Plus, it would really mess with us from a DFS standpoint. But I'm trying to look at the radar now. Is there anything that we can see? I don't know. I think it looks bad from the jump. I'm not sure they get 6 innings in either. Really not. So, what was the water park one? Red Skittles, the South Park episode. That wasn't Casa Bonita, was it? Casa Bonita. Einsteinium, the rain isn't supposed to stick around. I don't know. again, I'm just looking at a radar that I don't pay for, and it's clearly not an advanced model, but it doesn't look great. Whatever, we'll see. We still have, this is the thing, we still have almost 2 hours. We still have almost 2 hours until this game starts. So for now, let's just assume we're going to play it. That does us some favors. Otherwise, maybe you play bats, maybe you play pitchers, both, neither. But, full fading this game is tough, especially when you have a 4-8 total for the Rays and a 4-6 total for the Yankees. It's not just a game that, you confidently ignore, especially when it leaves you with only 2 games to begin with. So, yeah. But Andrew Abbott, I think, actually looks pretty good, too. I know he's expensive, but this guy's gone out and pieced together some really good games against some good teams. The obvious concern with Atlanta is that, they've got clear power from the right side of the plate. What is this? Fangraphs is now verifying that I'm human. Oh, I know why that. Yep, that makes sense. We know what they're trying to get rid of. Let's see. Where are the Braves versus lefties this year? Where are they in K rate? 23%. Okay. Middle of the league, 16th. 94 WRC plus on the active roster. Also 15th. 304 weighted on base average, 18th. 155 ISO is 15th. So this is as average a matchup as you can possibly get. So there you go. Yeah, I think Abbott looks good. He's been very good at home. Good strikeout stuff. Just a solid overall pitcher. You've seen him kind of like the maturation process on Andrew Abbott over the last couple of years has been very significant. Having by far his best campaign in the 3 years that he's been here. His K rate's down a bit from a rookie, but it's still at 23%. He doesn't walk batters, so that's very helpful. He doesn't get hit hard, 7% barrel rate, 26% hard hit rate. Now I'm just guessing, right? I actually don't know. That's got to be like one of the best hard hit rates in baseball. Got to be. I want to put it top 5. Let's see. It is 6th. Okay. That's a heck of a guess. Heck of a guess. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at here. So it's a good spot. Good spot. Einsteinian, Braves getting respect on the name value alone. I think you just target them. I don't really think you're wrong. Right? And it's also a 3-game slate. Okay, so let's work through this. We have a 3-game slate, and I'm going to sort by salary here for you guys, right? You have Abbott, Kirby, Pepio, Rocker, Stroman, and Carrasco. We'll probably end up getting probably some Carrasco, maybe some Stroman. I don't know. It's going to happen because it's a small slate. So there's no doubt the Sims is going to give us some of that. But Abbott, 38% top 2 pitcher probability. Get this. I know he's the highest priced pitcher, but he's only $500 more than Kirby and only $1,000 more than Pepio, who we have the rain weather concerns, and you've got him going up against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. This is wild to me. So Andrew Abbott has a 38% top 2 pitcher probability. Kirby's at 48. Pepio's at 41, only 3% higher than Abbott. Kirby's getting 70% ownership. Pepio has 59 and Abbott at 19. I mean, by far the most positively leveraged pitcher on this slate. I for sure think that there's value in getting to Andrew Abbott here. I could make an easy argument for like a Kumar Rocker against Seattle. He's not great, but Seattle's a good park and it's a 3-gamer. Obviously, you can make the easiest argument for Kirby. No team has a total within, nearly a full run of Texas. That also works. But he's 71% owned. And I think the price is very fair, but he's really popular. Then you have Carrasco, Stroman. Stroman's been terrible. We already know what Carrasco is. He's going to give up pop. It's a great American. Not a hot day there, though. Mid-70s. For late July, you'd expect it to be much warmer than that. So let's take a look at ownership and see what we've got here. Or exposure within the sim, sorry. We are at... All right. So a lot of Kirby, but actually under the field, you know, in a sense, we're matching the field. We're at 59%. The pool ownership within the Sims is 69.7. So yeah, we're negatively leveraged 11%, but it's not crazy. We've had these slates before, you guys know, where we've just straight faded the chalk. Faded Strider at 75%, faded Gossman at 70%, faded Hunter Brown at 80%. We've done this a lot. This looks a little bit different. Sims are suggesting otherwise. You're running tens of thousands of Sims, and you know what? It's saying, all right, of the top 150 lineups that we favorited, you have 58%, close to the field. Yep. Ryan Pepio, 53%. And Andrew Abbott, 38%. So what I wouldn't hate doing there, what I'd like to do, especially given the weather, and who knows what happens, we really don't know what's going to happen. Still have, you know, again, an hour 40 or whatever. I'd like to flip the Pepio and Abbott exposure. I wouldn't mind being well overweight on Abbott, just because if he's really getting like anywhere from 19 to 25% ownership on a 3-game slate, to me, that does feel like the leverage spot there. We're already positively leveraged by 16%, but you know, I just think this looks like the type of spot that we could get to. We're with the field on Kumar Rocker. Makes sense. We are over on Carrasco, under on Stroman. So of the two discounted pitchers, like super discounted 6K range pitchers, it's Carrasco and Stroman, except we're getting to more Carrasco than Stroman. That may feel ugly, and it is, but I'd actually rather get to Carrasco over Stroman too. Stroman's a shell of his former self. You look at all of these numbers, I mentioned it. Ground ball rate, career low. Strikeout rate, career low. Barrel rate, career high. Hard hit rate, career high. Like everything that you want, he is doing the opposite. I think he's got like a 4% K minus BB rate. Really bad stuff. Truly despicable stuff this year. So that's what exposure looks like right now. And we should spend at least a second here on Rocker, because you know, I mentioned he's fine, but didn't really get into it all that much. He's a young pitcher, right? First year at the major league level. And he has not been, like, there's nothing to suggest that this guy has been great, because he hasn't. But the park is going to mask a lot of those weaknesses. Not all the time, but oftentimes it will. Who knows? Maybe Cal Raleigh hits 2 homers off of him today. He can hit them anywhere. But I do think there's something to be said about it. 20% K rate. There's also a guy that like has been a 30+% strikeout rate guy at the minors. You know, the pedigree's there. Third overall pick. Third overall pick in 2022. It's there. It's just, we all know that the evolution of pitchers does not, like, not everybody comes up and is just Steven Strasburg, you know? Sometimes it takes a little while. Even with the most highly anticipated, touted pitchers, sometimes it just takes a while. 12% barrel rate, that stinks. You don't like that. But again, where's he pitching? T-Mobile Park. So these are the type of things that really will benefit him. He's got a pretty high hard hit rate and all that stuff you don't want to see if you're at Citizens Bank Park or at Coors or at Great American. But here, I'm not saying you overlook it, but on a 3-game slate, it means a little bit less. Joe, what if they take it off altogether? What are you talking about? The 1 o'clock game? I assume DraftKings still has a decent slate for the night slate, right? Like if you guys wanted to play that, yeah, it's still $20K up top in the main, the flagship contest, the 333, $10K up top. So there's still something. I don't even think they have a mini max today. Do they? Oh yeah, there you go. $7,500 mini max. So it's $1,000 up top. It's really not that far off from what they typically do. So yeah, if you just wanted to play the 2-gamer, you could do that as well. But I think a lot of people prefer that 3rd game. Eric, good morning, Dave. We have NFL on our TVs today. Damn right, man. Trey Lance, Hendon Hooker, Kyle Allen. I can't wait. And then, of course, you have DJU. The reason they refer to him as DJU is because pronouncing that last name is a pain in the ass. Oingalale, who was also, believe it or not, drafted by the LA Dodgers in 2023. Day 3, 20th round pick, their final pick. Played football instead. But yeah, Trey Lance is expected to play into the 3rd. I almost said pitch into the 3rd. Malcolm, Mariners bats playing positive leverage looks enticing. Yeah, well, let's take a look at our stacks. And of course, if you guys ever want access to any of the tools that we have, shoot me a DM at Lafayette_D. You see my name right there under my head. Say, hey, can I get that discount code? Can I get that promo? Get you a big discount, whether it's for a week or for a month of The Sims. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. Find me on Facebook Messenger. Doesn't matter. Or if you just wanted to do it the simple way, that first link in the description, guess what? Follow those 4 simple steps. Sign up with any of our Sportsbook partners or our DFS Pick'em site partners. For those of you in non-legal betting states, make a $5 or $10 deposit and get a free month of The Sims by following those 4 steps. Super simple. You're talking $5 into like $130 Sims package. If you sign up on 4 of them, let's say, because every single one of them is another month, that's 4 months. So take that 130, times it by 4, and that's what you've got. Not to mention that all of these minimum deposits are like $5 or $10, plus all of them give you some form of sign-up bonus, whether it's $5 and get like $200 in bonus bets, whether it's like one a parlay, which is new here for those of you guys who have exhausted all your other options, 100% deposit match bonus up to $250. So yeah, there's something for everybody here. Best way to get the best way for sure to go ahead and get the tools essentially for free. If you win your bet, you're truly free rolling. And if you don't win your first bet in order to get this free month, then you're down like $5 or $10, but you have a free month. So it's like you spent $5 or $10 to get a $130 Sims package. So yeah, for the whole month. All right. Plus, you do it now, it's going to lead you straight into the football season. September 4th is the first day of the regular NFL season. Let's take a look at stacks. What do we got? All right. Cincinnati against Carrasco. Oh, shocking. Yep, that would make sense. You look at the top stacks tool here. By the way, all of these tools are included. Not just the Sims, but the single lineup Sims as well. For those of you who like to build them out by hand, but also have instant feedback on the Sims. Fill out half your lineup, let the Sims fill the rest of it out. Run the Sims on that. Do it as many times as you want. Get instant feedback. Let you know if you're building a good lineup or not. Late swap, post-contest Sim, top stacks, top pitchers, projections, ownership, you name it. But Yeah, 5.4 team total for Cincinnati, by far the highest on the slate. You know, it's no surprise here. They're popular, Cincinnati. They're popular, but they should be. Also, if you're looking at 5-stack pool ownership, we're still getting 2x the field in that, right? We're with the field on 4 and 3-man stacks. We're 2xing the field on 5-mans. We are 2xing the field on Yankees 5-mans. Again, for those of you who joined late, there's weather in that game. Pay attention. Make sure going up to lock that you're on top of that. Oh, and there will be live before lock tonight, by the way, for those of you guys looking to watch. Eric Lindquist and Matt Bellman. Maybe a shorter one, but it's going to be there. Tampa Bay against Stroman, another spot I really, really like. I really like. I mean, the weather's the issue, but aside from that, how do you not love Tampa Bay against Marcus Stroman, assuming this game plays? There's like nothing not to like about this spot at all. Marcus Stroman's giving up power. Ground ball rate, which used to be his bread and butter. He didn't get a lot of strikeouts, but he would just get, you'd be talking like 60% ground ball rate on Stroman. He'd be the guy you never wanted to play in DFS, but you never wanted to play against him either. On the season, though, if you're talking lefties against Stroman, my God, 14% K rate, 2.21 home runs per 9. Granted, limited sample size here. Only faced 93 of them so far, 61 righties, but 396 WOBA to lefties. And that's not great. Matter of fact, it's bad. See what his XWOBA is here as well. And that Rays lineup is already out, including switch hitters. You have 5 lefties in the lineup. 398 XWOBA versus lefties, 263 X ISO. So better against righties for sure. Keep this in mind. 329 X WOBA, 153 X ISO. Big difference there. But still, no real swings and misses against either handed hitter. But against lefties, it's been a serious struggle for Marcus Stroman. Not good. Let's look at Carlos Carrasco here as well. Should be interesting. So he's got a 336 xWOBA against lefties. Of course, they still have him Yankees here, but we know he was recently acquired by the Braves. Righties, 463 WOBA, 382 xWOBA. 250 X ISO against righties. Brutal stuff. What about last year? Yeah, like 240 ISO against righties, 218 against lefties. The expected rates are better, but still, this is not good. So yeah, if we're getting to those two spots, I'm more than okay with it. More than okay with it. We're not getting to a lot of Seattle. We're not getting to a lot of Atlanta against Abbott. A little bit of Texas. If we go into our stack exposures here, 49% Cincinnati, 31% Yankees, 26% Tampa. All of this could change barring weather. But my guess is they try and get it in. Texas 18, Seattle 15, Atlanta 10. What about individual bats? Who's our most exposed individual bat? Chandler Simpson for Tampa. Like that. We just talked about Marcus Stroman really struggling to keep lefties off the base paths. We'll take that. Yeah. Without question. Now, you should expect absolutely zero power here. But if you just get on base, the stolen base upside is gigantic. Right? Like this guy's just going to go. And you got a 396 WOBA for Marcus Stroman. 398 X WOBA. Spencer Steer against Carrasco. Matt McClain, Ellie De La Cruz. So a lot of Cincinnati. Jake Fraley, Tyler Stevenson, Gavin Lux. A lot of Cincinnati. McMahon and Jazz for the Yankees, 26 and 23% respectively. Junior Caminero for Tampa, 23%. All right. Honestly, I have no issues, no concerns with our exposure here. The only thing that would suck, just based on our exposure now, the only thing that would really suck is that somehow that game in Seattle ends up being really, like, just ends up being an offensive outburst, which would suck. You know? That would suck. Anyway, that's what we've got. Should be a fun slate. 3-gamer, weird one. If weather wasn't an issue, that would make life a little bit easier. Hey, by the way, if you guys are interested in preseason football or just football in general, you know, I do all these videos. I do all these picks videos. I don't sell picks or anything like that, but I figured I would just put all of my picks over on Tails for free, and you can see all of the other free picks from everybody and explore any other sharp minds out there that you'd like to take a look at. But all of mine, if you guys are interested, throughout the preseason and throughout the NFL season, we'll have some fun with some round robins, straight bets. Anytime I think we have an edge every week, you can go here and just go to explore, type in my name, Laffy, right? And follow me. And then all of my picks will pop up. So if you're into like the preseason betting, or if you're into, which you should be, it makes it so much more fun. If you are into any of that stuff, NFL in general, and all of these other guys, and you're looking for free picks, you can figure out, you know, who you like, who you want to follow. All of that goes in your following tab, just like it would on Twitter. You know, Ben or Eric, these guys, and they post free picks all the time. So a lot of free picks up here. I started including mine for NFL. It's the only sport I really enjoy doing any of that stuff for, so nothing else. But come join, follow, hit me up on Twitter. You guys know where to find me. Eric, Dave, do you have an OnlyFans? Not yet. If all this doesn't work out and that gambling tax provision passes, yeah, we may go OnlyFans here. And I would hope that you guys would patronize my OnlyFans. You don't have to look, but if you want, no. For real though, this is all free. I'm not charging for any. I just want to. I enjoy doing that. It's kind of like a, you know, the whole pet project thing. I like giving out NFL picks, but I don't want to be under the burden of charging for them and stuff like that, you know, and feeling like it's a massive commitment. So, yeah, come check it out. Follow me there. Just search my name, follow Laffy, and all those picks will be there. We can have some fun with it all year. One thing before we go. What does that say? Talus 2K10. How come you guys don't really get into depth with hitters during live shows? Like who's been hot or cold over the last 10 games, value hitters, etc. I get that question a lot, and the truth is, man, it doesn't actually matter. Like who's hot over the last 10 is essentially meaningless. Also, from a DFS perspective, the stacks are so much more important than individual hitters. You know, we used to do shows where you go position by position, right? And you go over every bat that looks good and this and that. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there isn't value to that, but there is more value in seeing what type of builds are best today, seeing what type of pitcher combos and stacks make the most sense. That's why we use the tools and the sims and, you know, the top pitcher, top stacks tool. These are technically simulation tools as well. That type of stuff is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of you guys as well, it's just more valuable than with spending time. I won't say wasting time, but spending time going over individual batters, because that can only do you so much. That interview I did with Martin last week, I suggest anyone who hasn't checked it out, go ahead and do so. You'll love it. Insanely valuable. It's right here on the YouTube channel. Guy's cashed almost 500K in 2 months since he started using the Sims, and he's discovered ways to, unearth his own edges within the tools. He was saying, like, he's only stacking, right? Unless it's like a weird slate, but he's looking at historical data and all of that on like how 5-2-1s have been more profitable than 5-3s and this and that. It's very rare that like an unstacked lineup wins. And when it does, it's probably just because there's so many days and games in the season, So there's that. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the day. I will see you back here tomorrow to close out the week. On Twitter this afternoon, I'm going to do a preseason betting strategy show and break down tonight's game. For those of you degenerates like myself, it's really not. It's not, but I call it that because people assume preseason betting is dumb. But yeah. Tails, I hear you. Knowing if a hitter is way better versus lefties is just as important as knowing if a lefty pitcher is better than righties. Little insight that could get you over the hump. Yes, for sure. But again, a pitcher that's better or worse against lefties, you may be talking like 6 lefties in a lineup or fewer of them. Like take a Jose Soriano against a righty-heavy lineup, much better than against a lefty-heavy lineup. As far as hitters go, it's individualized, and then you have to run through all of that. I'm not saying there's no value there. What I'm saying is doing something like that would take a long time. Aaron, no home run picks. No, not today. I told Josh, don't worry. Like it's a 3-game slate. You can't spin the wheel with the home run picks doing that. We'll be back at it tomorrow where we've got 15 games and we'll make it happen. Aside from that, you guys have a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow to close out the week and enjoy preseason football tonight. It should be a fun one. Bye-bye.